My name is Anna. I come from Brazil. I live in a small house with my family. My bedroom is small, but I like it. It has a window that lets in the morning sun. I always wanted to speak English. I wanted to travel to new places, meet people, and tell them about my life. But English was very hard for me. I knew some words like hello and thank you, but when I tried to speak, I felt scared. My heart beat fast and my words got stuck. I was afraid people would laugh at me. One day, I decided to join an English conversation class. I thought, this is my chance to learn. I wanted to be brave. The first day of class was exciting, but scary. That morning, I woke up early. The sun was bright and it made me feel warm. I looked in the mirror and said to myself, "You can do this, Anna." I was nervous, but I took my backpack and walked to the language center. My stomach felt tight, like I was going on a big adventure. When I got to the classroom, it was full of people. There were students from many countries, like Spain, China, and Italy. Some spoke English well, but others were beginners like me. The teacher's name was Miss Baker. She was kind and had a big smile. She spoke English slowly so I could understand her. Her voice was nice, like music. She said, "Today we will introduce ourselves. Say your name and why you want to learn English." I watched my classmates speak. A boy from Italy said, "My name is Luca. I want to learn English for my job." A girl from China said, "My name is Lee. I like English movies." When it was my turn, my heart was beating fast. I stood up and said, "My name is Anna. I am from Brazil. I want to learn English to travel." My voice was quiet and I felt shy. But the students smiled and Miss Baker said, "Good job, Anna." I sat down and felt happy. I did it. In class, we learned simple phrases. We said things like, "Nice to meet you," and "Where are you from?" I practiced with a girl named Maria. She was from Spain and very friendly. When I forgot a word, she helped me. We laughed a lot, and it made me feel better. I started to think maybe speaking English is not so scary. But some days were not easy. I wanted to speak well, but I made mistakes. Sometimes I said the wrong word, or I could not say anything. My classmates spoke faster than me, and I felt slow. One day we worked in small groups. My group had 2 students who were good at English. They asked me, "What do you like to do, Anna?" I wanted to say, "I like reading books," but the words did not come out right. I said, "I like, books." They smiled, but I felt embarrassed. That night I went home and felt sad. I thought, I am not good at English. But then I remembered my mother. She always said, "Anna, you are strong. Don't give up." Her words made me feel better. I decided to work harder. I sat on my bedroom floor with my laptop and phone. I found English videos on YouTube. One video said, "Practice every day and don't be afraid of mistakes." I liked that idea. I started to record myself speaking English. I used my phone and said, "Hi, my name is Anna. I like to read books and listen to music." The first time, my voice sounded funny. I made mistakes, like saying book instead of books. I listened to the recording and tried again. Each time, I got a little better. I recorded myself every day. I said things like, "My favorite color is blue," or "I want to visit London." It was hard, but it helped me. After a few weeks, I showed my recordings to Maria. She said, "Anna, your English is better now." I was so happy. I started to speak more in class. I asked Miss Baker questions like, "How do you say this word?" She always helped me. One day she said, "Anna, you are improving a lot." I felt proud. At the end of the course, we had a big project. We had to give a presentation about our culture or a story. I was nervous, but I wanted to do well. I decided to talk about my grandmother. She lives in a small house near the Amazon rainforest. She tells me stories about animals, trees, and her village. I love her stories, and I wanted to share them with my class. I wrote my presentation with simple words. I said, "My grandmother is kind. She lives in a small house. She loves the forest and tells me stories. I practiced every night. I recorded myself to check my words. When I made a mistake, I tried again. I wanted my classmates to understand me. On the day of the presentation, I was very nervous. My hands were sweaty and my heart was beating fast. I stood in front of the class. Everyone looked at Gail. I took a deep breath and started. My name is Anna. Today, I want to tell you about my grandmother. I spoke slowly. I told them about her house, her stories, and how she taught me to be strong. When I finished, the class was quiet. Then they clapped. A boy said, "Anna, your story is great." A girl said, "Your grandmother sounds like my grandmother." I smiled and felt so happy. After class, my classmates talked to me. We shared stories about our families. I felt like I was part of the group. I was not shy anymore. I realized that English helped me connect with people. One day, I went to a market near my house. It was busy, with many people and colors. I saw a man selling oranges. I wanted to practice my English. I walked up to him and said, "How much for one orange?" He said, $2. I gave him the money and took the orange. It felt like a big win. At the market, I saw some teenagers playing basketball. I love basketball, but I was shy to join. I took a deep breath and said, "Can I play?" They looked surprised. A girl with pink shoes said, "Can you shoot the ball?" I said, "Not well, but I want to try." She smiled and gave me the ball. I tried to shoot, and the ball went in. Everyone cheered. I laughed and felt happy. They taught me words like dribble and pass. We played and talked. One boy said, "Say basketball in your language." I said, "Basquete." They tried to say it, and we all laughed. After the game, the girl with pink shoes said, "Come with us." We went to a cafe. It smelled like coffee and cake. I was nervous, but I wanted to practice. I said to the barista, "Can I have a cappuccino?" She smiled and made my drink. I felt proud. At the cafe, we played a game called Two Truths and a Lie. I said I climbed a mountain. I have a cat. I never ate sushi. My friends guessed which one was a lie. They said, "You never ate sushi." I laughed and said, "That's true. I never tried it." We talked and laughed more. I felt like I belonged. Later, we went outside to watch street performers. They played music and danced with fire. The flames were bright, and the music was loud. I clapped and smiled. I felt alive. I said to my friends, "Teach me more English." They laughed and said, "Okay, Anna." That night, I went home and thought about my journey. Learning English was not easy. I made mistakes, but I kept trying. I met new friends and shared my story. I was not afraid anymore. English helped me talk to people and feel free. Now I practice English every day. I watch videos, read books, and talk to my friends. I want to travel and see the world. I want to tell my stories and hear other people's stories. English is not just a language. It is a way to connect with people. I am Anna, and I am learning to talk in English. I am excited for what comes next.